Hello, Lisa here. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if this is your first time popping in. Today we are going to be taking a look at the Scarab and Dahlia Tarot. This is by Johanna Callahan Waldo. That might be Callahan. I think it's Callahan though. And it is designed by Octavia Lucart Waldo. This is a collage deck. I'm really stoked to get into this. There will be a link down below where you can check it out. I did share this briefly in my last recent deck roundup, or at least, I don't know if I should say last, because I don't know when this video is going up, but I did share it in a recent deck roundup. And now we're going to dig in and take a look at the cards in detail. So get cozy, let's get into it. It does come in a nice, obviously sturdy 2-piece box. We love to see it. Comes with a guidebook. Can't wait to check that out. We'll check that out in a little while. And then we have these big, beautiful cards. Here we go. Here's the last one. Here we go. This does feel like it's going to be a handful to manage. It's quite a chunky deck. So for reference, let me just grab a Unicorn's Journey card so I can just show you. This is standard tarot size. And here we have the Scarab and Dahlia is quite a bit wider and a little bit taller than a classic tarot size, and it is silver gilded, and this is the title card. I'm probably going to ditch that or use that as a bookmark, but I'm so stoked to get into this. So I am very particular when it comes to collage decks, and often I really struggle. What drew me to this one in particular, and this was sent to me, by the way, for the purposes of sharing it with you, but listen, I initially was like, I don't think so, and then I took a closer look and was like, wait, there is something special about this. This is not, to me, as, I don't know how to say it politely, it's not as chaotic as a lot of collage decks. When I think of collage decks, I often think of decks like the Voyager Tarot that can be really intense and really busy and really hard to sort of sift through. And I love that when I need that energy. But this feels like it could sit in a space where it's not quite full-on crazy chaotic collage, but it's got that collage to kind of give you different visual interests, things to hone in on, things to notice. That's what's got me excited. So let me zoom in so you can see the cards a little bit better. Okay. So for starters, for example, here we have the Fool. I want something to point with. I'm going to use, what am I going to use to point with? I don't have my wand handy. I'll use a fountain pen, a non-inked fountain pen. Okay, so for example, here we have the Fool. She's standing on the tip of this like old car. There's a dog barking right here, but look at this big red cape that immediately draws the eye because there's all this black and white, right? It's just amazing. It's like literally like playing superhero, like I can fly, and like you can see the Fool energy all over this. I also love the formatting of the card. We have this gorgeous image in the center. It takes up tons of space, and then a tiny little number and a tiny little title. Perfectly readable, really nice. And I think decks like this do benefit by having borders. I don't think this is one I would be tempted to cut down and make borderless. However, if this is a deck that you find you don't resonate with as like a tarot, you could potentially trim this and then have an oracle and just work with the images, which could be really cool. Anyway, we have the Fool. Here we have our Magician. So you'll notice that there's a lot of like classic symbology coming through. We have the lemniscate over the Magician's head. We have the as above, so below type hand positioning here. All the flowers blooming at the Magician's feet. I mean, like this really works. For our High Priestess, we have the dark and the light pillars. We have the veil behind her. We have the book in her arms. We have the ibis or crane, which this can be a classic like Thoth symbol. A piece of fruit could be a pomegranate or an apple at her feet. I'm assuming it's meant to be a pomegranate. There's all kinds of symbols to dig into here, and I am here for it. Here we have the Empress. I love that she's sitting in her garden in her place here, and she's got a book in her lap and a little fox kind of curled up next to her. We have so much landscape and earthiness and bounty with the fruit. We have the horse here, but then down in the bottom we have, I don't think it's quite a Venus of Willendorf, but it is an old goddess kind of figurine that really brings us back to that energy of the divine feminine, and I love it. Maybe I didn't need the pen, but it makes me happy to hold it, so we're just going to keep holding it. Again, here we have the Emperor. We see signs of power and majesty. We have the eagle. We have the suit and like that like being in that place of power with the red tucked into the pocket. And then, of course, the ram to bring us back to the energy of Aries. And yeah, I dig it so much. Like the symbols are really coming through, and I love how smart this is. We have the Hierophant. Here, instead of maybe a more Pope-like symbol, we have a Buddha-like symbol here. We have the sacred cow in the back, which is amazing, but that also brings us to Taurus, the planetary association with, zodiacal association with the card. And we have the crossed keys in front. So like the symbols I'm looking for are here, and this is what I mean. I love this Lovers card. I love that we don't immediately get an image of like a particular set of people. So we're not immediately, we can all put ourselves in this, right? This could be heterosexual, homosexual, queer, gay, non-binary. Who freaking cares? It's just like it's a moment of passion and intensity. We get that Lover's energy. And look at the tattoo in her low back. I'm gonna say her, but it could be anybody. In the low back we have the Gemini as like almost like a tattoo tucked into there, and then all these roses kind of bringing us into this place of like lust and passion and intensity and romance. And yes, sure, choice. But then we also have an alternate. Oh my god, there's so many alternate lovers. Okay. Did you see that? I just went like wavy hands. I got very excited. Okay. I love this lover so much. Then we have this one, and this is clearly two females curled up in bed together. I freaking love the twin snakes on the side pillow and the fruit. And it's just being kind of tangled up together. Oh my god, I love that so much. Oh my gosh. And then we have this one, which is two boys. Oh, look at this. I love the tenderness in this image. Oh man. I love all of these. Man. I don't even know. I mean, if I have to pick, I'm going to probably pick this one for myself. Oh man. I love these all. Part of me actually, I mean, they all kind of have a similar vibe. It's funny though. They're similar, but they're not. Like these two, they have a different energy. This one's very intense and passionate. This one's so sweet and soft and tender. And this one is just like, I don't know, it's like it captures a different moment. Like it kind of looks post-coital. You know what I mean? Oh my gosh, I love these. Oh gosh, I don't know. Okay, for now, I'm going to put this one in. But I'm going to keep these up here. I don't even, oh, there's another one. Oh, shoot. Oh, dang it. And then this one has, like, that is a Venus of Willendorf. This has all kinds of people and choices. This is more like what I think of when I think of collage. People in, like, tangled up together, different types of couples or partnerships. Oh, I have so much indecision. What do I do? I might just, oh, now I don't know. I keep wanting to go back to this one. I think I like this one because it's nondescript. Like, that could be masculine, feminine, but it doesn't have to be. I like that. I don't know. I love all of these. Frick, I don't know what to do. What do I do? I don't usually have this problem. Usually I'm torn kind of mostly between these three, but I love this one. I can't have this many lovers cards in my deck. Part of me wants to shuffle them all in, but that can get really wild, right? So I don't want to do that yet. I think I'm going to stick with this one for now. I think I've changed my mind. I'm going to put all three of these. Oh my god, I love them all so much. Okay, I'm going to put all three of these up here for now. Oh my god, that was brutal, Johanna. What are you doing to us? Okay, next we have the Chariot. I love all of this water. Yes, please. The Chariot is associated with the sign of Cancer. We have the two horses here, and they don't look like they're perfectly aligned, which I love. I think this is the moon, which is perfect because the moon rules Cancer. But then we also have this vehicle and these people like all kind of climbing all over it. And we also have this situation happening up here. This is, I'm going to get my little magnifier. Hold on. Where is it? Okay, I just want to see what is going on. Oh, it's like a woman kind of dancing, and she's riding on the back of a bird. I don't know if you guys will be able to, will it focus? Yeah, you'll be able to probably see it pretty well. I had to use my magnifier because I've got this under the camera. Love this. I just love all the water. That makes me really happy. Strength. Oh my gosh. I love this. I love that. And the Hermit. Wandering through these caves. The Wheel of Fortune. I mean, this is fabulous. I feel like this is going to be a very easy to read collage, and that's what I think I've been waiting for. Justice. There's not even a hesitation. And having the titles on there also makes it easier. The Hanged Man. Man, I kind of want to get into the guidebook. I kind of want to know. Okay, we're just going to, whatever. I always say I'm not going to do it till after, and I'm lying every time. I don't know why I still tell myself that. Okay, so in the guidebook, the Hanged Man is suspended upside down from an old tree that seems to have grown through the floor of a small church. Sunlight streams through the arched windows and shines on the pews in the chapel. The Hanged Man is both inside and out. He is both in nature and in sacred space, reminding us that in his position he hangs suspended between our world and the spiritual realm. Goes on from there. Amazing. I love this. I love this. Okay. Death. Wow. Oh my gosh, I love that. Oh shoot, you're doing it to us again, Johanna. Okay, let me see. Let me think. Which do I like better? I think I might actually like this one better. I really love how powerful that is. This one might be just a little bit easier, and I like all the butterflies as well. So I think for now I'll keep that one in. Choices are hard though, for real. Okay, Temperance, I love her. I love everything about her. I wish there was a little bit more of an obvious fire in this card. at first glance because this card is associated with Sagittarius. I wonder if she addresses that. Not really, but she does talk about opposites. The ocean crashes into the rocks behind her, but she is calm and focused as she pours liquid from one vessel to another. A card about restoring balance and harmony. It's not about making drastic changes or cutting things out of your life, but about moderating those things that are out of balance and causing disharmony, avoiding extremes. I mean, it's a beautiful temperance card, don't get me wrong. Okay, then we have the devil. Love this with the dice, or excuse me, the cards rather. You get this like energy of excess, right? Like there's the alcoholic drinks here. There's like losing oneself to abandon down here. There's like smoking and I think that's smoking. I don't know. All kinds of like wild abandon happening here. There's definitely a giving yourself over to your temptations and desires happening. Love this tower so much. It's amazing. Oh, I love the star. Okay, now that's an ibis. So what was the one in the Empress? Was that just like a... Am I bad with my symbols? Probably. What was she? Was it a swan? Is it a stork? I don't know, man. It might be I don't know. I'm bad with animals, but I'm pretty sure that's an ibis. Anyway, here we have the star. I love this sort of tiptoeing. It's like she's tiptoeing across the moon. She seems to be made of light. Love that. Yeah, I don't need this pen, but whatever. The moon. Oh, interesting. Love these because you have the actual planetary bodies visible on the cards. We have the moon and the sun. These are spot on. We have the two like dogs. We have the crawfish. I mean, like the symbols are here. This is so freaking smart. Here we have judgment. That definitely works. And then we have the world. Oh, I love this. We have the 4 elements represented through the collage. This is so cool. Yeah, this is the card that did me in. I told this story in my recent deck roundup, but I had seen all these like flying horses or whatever, and I was like, oh no, that doesn't make any sense. But I didn't know what card it was. I just saw it in passing, and it makes perfect sense. Like, of course, wild horses makes so much sense for the energy of the Ace of Wands, because the energy of the Ace of Wands is like this chaotic inspiration or spark that's so powerful, but it's not tapped into. It's not tamed. It's not harnessed. It's just raw. And that's kind of what that makes me think of. All this like raw energy just like flying around, and you got to figure out how to corral it, so to speak. And then we have the 2 of Wands. These are so smart. Like I really see the image in here. These are very, very aligned with the Rider-Waite-Smith, but I'm seeing hints of Thoth as well, which is so lovely. This really much feels like commencement or embarkation, which are words that I associate with this card. We've got the ships. Love this. We have the hut or the yurt that's built here in our 4 of Wands. We're seeing the signs of stability and foundations. These horses going at it in this conflicty 5 of Wands. Yep. I mean, like, this is so easy to read and so cool. 7 of Wands. The momentum of the 8 of Wands. The 9 of Wands. It's getting cold. It's getting wintry. Still got to take care of them animals. Got to hang in there. And we have the 10 of Wands. What is happening here? Oh my goodness. So it's this character walking through the desert with all of these things stacked up on top of them. And there's this feeling of like these birds are pecking at them and like kind of harassing them, but they still got to keep going. And it's like just a lot. It's feeling very oppressive. You really get that in that image. Okay, now we have our quartz. Okay, that totally feels like the Page of Wands to me. This totally feels like the Knight of Wands to me. This totally feels like the Queen of Wands. Love her. And the King of Wands. I love these so much. Oh my god, these are great. Okay. I'm obsessed with the cup suit, so I'll probably end up slowing down a little bit through this suit. Okay, so we have our Ace of Cups. I love the little fish. Love the big, big cup. Love that. In the 2 of Cups, so I did have some extra little tidbits from Johanna, the creator of the deck. And she wrote me this lovely little letter with the deck and was pointing out some fun little things about the cups. So I'm like taking a glance at that over here. I love that this person is all curled up with their partner on this couch. This looks like an image right out of like the Kama Sutra or something. I don't know why. It's just giving that vibe. And then there's like coffee cups. So they're like clearly relaxing. But what's interesting is that Johanna says that the sky in this card is actually water, which I think is amazing. In the 3 of Cups, these ladies are all hanging out together and they're reading tarot, which is something that I noticed in Danny Mystic's walkthrough of this deck. She pointed this out. And Johanna went on to point out that actually the card that one of the ladies is holding up is the World card, which is awesome. That's a cool symbol to lean into. Here we have the 4 of Cups. This is so... I like this because you can read it as like that indolence, or you can read it as like stagnation, but you can also just read it as like peace and stability and just being calm, like relaxed, actually having, you know, the floor is not going to drop out from under you right now. You can actually settle. I love that. And then in the Five of Cups, this really hits like just that emotional exhaustion of grief, right? I really feel it in that image. In the Six of Cups, this is really a sweet story. So Johanna has lots of things here specifically from her own childhood, specific memories, specific tidbits. There's some really special things in here to Johanna. And I'm not going to share all that because I don't know that all of that is quite for public consumption. But I'll say that this does definitely give the vibe, especially with that background. It tells me that this is almost like opening up a box of memories. Do you ever do that? If you're somebody that keeps like memorabilia, when you open up that box and you start sifting through all the things, like maybe it's old family photos, maybe yours has got little notes that you used to pass in high school or whatever, and it's just like, it's like pouring over things, and it can just really suck you in, and you can really get lost there. You can also idealize your past through that. You can also get sad. Like there's all kinds of experiences associated with a dip into the past, but that really feels like that. This again feels like that chaotic collage, but here it really makes sense to me. It has a symbolic purpose. Here we have the Seven of Cups, and that just works perfectly and symbolically. Johanna says that this Eight of Cups, and it's actually really, it's kind of difficult for me to see the figure walking away, but it's right here. It's like sort of this angle. Here's all the cups all stacked up, and it's dark, and they're kind of heading off into that darkness. I'm curious what her little guidebook says about this Eight of Cups, but she does say in her letter that this is the dome in Yosemite, which is one of Johanna's favorite places. Okay, let's just take a look at what she says here about the Eight of Cups in the guidebook. No, there's nothing jumping out at me there. Okay. Then we have the Nine of... Oh my God! Okay, I love this so much. Okay, first of all, this is the Lion and the Unicorn. Makes me really happy. I just love seeing unicorns. Makes me really happy. It's very fairy tale-ish. It's very content. It's very happy. This feels like... I just love this. I just love this. And then we have the Ten of Cups. And we have the whole family, like this like multi-generational family situation happening here. It's all very safe and content. We have all the cups. We have like all these flowers up top. Then we have the Page of Cups. I adore her so much. She looks like she's living in almost like a land of her imagination. She's got little wings on. The Knight of Cups. I do wish this was just a little bit more obviously watery. Like it is watery, but I wish there was a little bit more. Oh, something else that I just remembered because I was just looking at Johanna's letters while I was looking at the cups. She did mention in the majors that when you see planets, these are the planets associated with the card. So that's very intentional. I think I was picking up what she was putting down for the most part there. Also, all of the knights, she said, have overly large representations of their suits, which she said as knights, this is indicative of their build. She says, as knights, this is indicative of their bold, larger-than-life energy and how I imagine they see themselves. And then all of the pages have animal guides that look after them. So like in this one, we have the little fish or the turtle. She gave me some cardstock specs that I'll share with you as well here in a little bit. Let's see. Okay, I'll share some of the other little tidbits here at the end. But anyways, there's our Knight of Cups. I just got distracted by the letter again. Okay, here's our Queen of Cups. There's her Walrus. And then our King of Cups. I love these court cards. They feel very dynamic and alive, and I love that so much. Okay, now we're into the swords. We have the Ace of Swords. Perfect. I love that the Ace of Swords is in front of these like tablets and like stone engravings, because we get that idea of like revealing hidden knowledge. The Two of Swords, the crossed swords, having to make a difficult decision. There's the Moon. It's still happening. It's just in a city setting. The Three of Swords, we see that like difficult and painful lesson being learned. The Four of Swords, love this with the swords just all horizontal, and she's in her peaceful place, right? She's having that break away from the intensity or the mental intensity, but it's kind of got her in the space where she's sort of part inside, part outside, which I really like. She's still in the open air, if that makes sense. Here we have the Five of Swords, very classic composition. Six of Swords. In this case, the rough water's behind and they're moving this way. You could also see it as they're moving that way, but they're moving in the direction of the lighthouse that is guiding them through this difficulty, right? Here we have the Seven of Swords. Again, very classic composition. The Eight of Swords. Yeah, you think you're surrounded, but like legit. These are just like little statues. Like it's fine. Get yourself out of there. This is so great for the Nine of Swords and just all these like spooky faces and all these like voices in our head that we're usually battling with when we're in this experience. The Ten of Swords. Oof. And all of these like letters and writing, they really remind you of what element you're in, right? Like this is really good. You really feel, I feel like you really feel the element of air through these cards. Like you can see the clouds or you can see other things that bring you into the element, into what suit you're in. All right, we have our Page of Swords. Perfect. Love this little guy. That's fantastic. There's our knight. Our queen, she's fabulous. Love her. And our king. Love the owl here. And that brings us into the coins. We have the ace of coins. The 2. I love this with the juggling. It's amazing. With the 3 of coins here, it's like this person's kind of dominating the work, right? She seems to be the one doing the painting, but there's these observers that are sort of back further, and they're sort of taking it all in and possibly giving her a different perspective. And something to think about too. Sometimes we feel like we're the only ones doing the work, and we need that outside perspective in order to give us clarity. Because when you're too close to something, you can't always see it. And that's the benefit of working in a collaborative way, right? Bringing other people into your process. You can see your blind spots or have them pointed out to you. Here we have 4 of coins. Yep, that works really well. 5 of coins, so does this. I mean, we've got these like little, I assume these are garden plots. They may be something else, but I think they're garden plots. But of course, it's winter. We can't be growing food right now. We're probably struggling a little bit to get through that difficult time. 6 of coins. We have the giving happening here. 7 of coins. I love how these have space in them. It doesn't feel like it's just all this big, it's not coming at me. I feel like I can sit with these images. 8 of coins. Now, instead of being up close to the painting, we can see the progression of the work. And when you compare, this is a neat thing to be able to do. When you can compare where we're at in the 3 of coins versus where we're at in the 8 of coins, you can really see these two meanings coming through, right? We're close to it and we're still progressing here, but by the 8, we've perfected the work. We know what we're doing now, right? And we've kind of built up a body of work around us. Here we have the 9 of coins. Things are good. Just got a good harvest. And then our 10 of coins. Definitely see that concept of legacy coming through. We have our page of coins. Oh, I love that she has a dog and chickens. Amazing. It's perfect. And then the knight of coins couldn't be better. Like, wow, what a great image to find for that. And then the queen of coins. Love how lavish and luxurious this is. And the king of coins. Okay, so let me zoom out. We're going to give some cardstock specs. So these cards are 400 GSM, which is thick and stiff, usually. Remember, GSM is a weight classification, though not technically a thickness. So these do have a little bit of bend, and they are bigger, so they will be more flexible. A 400 GSM card of this size is going to bend easier, or around the same maybe, as a 350 GSM of a smaller size. And that's a gross oversimplification, but it gives you a vague idea of kind of how it works in feel. And these are UV matte coated. You can usually tell a UV matte coated deck because that swishy sound, if you like that swishy sound in your cards where they don't stick at all, they're kind of just smooth. There's no grippiness to them. That is often a matte UV coating. Now, I find that matte UV coating does sometimes make the cards feel a little stiffer or like maybe more brittle. They're not actually brittle, but hopefully you know what I mean by that. Now, I have pretty strong hands and pretty stretchy hands, so I think, ooh, yeah, that's gonna be stiff. But I can do it. It's gonna be tough, but I can do it. So if I'm struggling, then anybody with smaller hands or weaker hands or anybody with like chronic hand issues or hand pain is going to struggle to riffle this deck. That said, this kind of coating on the cards is going to make for a really easy hand over hand for sure. This is a shuffling technique that I definitely recommend learning because it definitely helps if you have smaller hands. If you struggle this direction, like the lengthwise with the deck, see if you can practice some of your taller decks, even the really awkward ones, doing this like overhand, holding onto the short edge. That does happen sometimes, though. I do that all the time. I'm definitely more of a riffle shuffler than a hand over hand shuffler, but it does get easier with practice, and you just kind of like let a few go at a time and just kind of keep doing it. Just a couple, and you get the hang of it, right? This is also going to fan really beautifully because, of course, nothing's going to clump. So you can also fan out and just pull out individual cards, which is another way to work with decks like this that can be a little bit thick and heavy in the cardstock arena. I would love to see something like this, even in this exact same size, in like a 330 linen. I think it would make it really usable, and I think linen would work well with this particular art. But that's just my opinion, and also I'm heavily biased towards linen decks, or linen finished decks on a good playing cardstock, but these feel really sturdy. Okay, I would like to see what it looks like to put 3 cards on the table, just to see what that feels like, and then we'll take a look at the guidebook as well. All right, so let me try one more riffle if I can. Yeah, it does hurt, especially with the gilding. That just makes it kind of sharper on the edges of the fingers, so yeah. Not a huge fan of that shuffle experience. All right, let's pull Make sure we're really good and mixed up. Let's pull 3 cards and see what they look like just together on the table. All right, cut the deck and we'll place. So we have Death. I do like that particular Death. The King of Coins and the Hanged Man. Something else that Johanna pointed out is that she tried to make a fairly small unobtrusive border, but also make it so that to put like a bit of an inner border in here, so that if you did find this deck was difficult to shuffle with bigger hands, that you could easily trim out the centers of the cards. You could probably with a metallic Sharpie write the card number and title on there, but this is a deck that I feel like it's really easy to know what you're looking at. That said, I feel like on decks like this, it is helpful to have the titles. So it's kind of a bit of you're going to have to decide for yourself kind of thing. I'm just checking something. Yeah, I thought so. Okay. So this is something that I'm just noticing because it's something that I had to, Peggy and I were talking about with her Sassy Dragons deck that we're working on, is whether to have, we have the numbers up top and then the titles down below for the majors. But then in the minors, we just have the titles because like you don't need 9 if you see 9 here. And I noticed that Johanna did the same thing for her deck, and it made me feel happy. Like, it made me feel validated, so I just had a moment about that. Anyways, so first of all, I like how these look on the table. I like the borders around them. I think it gives a little bit of visual, like, breathing room between the cards. I like, actually, how big the cards are. I will say, for collage decks, I think when they get too small, they can kind of be, you can kind of lose the details, or they can feel too cramped feeling. I do like this layout a lot. But I feel like they don't feel overwhelming. Sometimes when I lay out, in fact, let's do another row beneath. Sometimes when I lay out collage decks, they just feel overwhelming to look at, but I'm not getting that here. And I love that I'm not getting that here. So we're a little bit, scooch up just a bit. So now I have the Page of Coins, the 5 of Cups, and the Hierophant. I love this. I love this. This looks great on the table. I'm happy with this. Okay, let's take a look at the guidebook. So we're not crazy thick. We are at about 70-something pages. Let's see, 74 pages. You get a decent chunk, about a paragraph for every card with a list of keywords. So for example, for the Page of Wands, you have enthusiastic, energetic, curious, passionate, charismatic, ambitious, adventurous, can be a risk taker, and mischievous. And it says, this is a time for new learning and discovery. You feel great excitement over a new possibility. You feel inspired. Think outside the box. Now is the time to go for it and take a chance. You may receive a message from far away. Say yes to whatever is being offered. Be optimistic and have confidence in your abilities. So it's very straightforward, like just telling you the meaning of the card. We're not going in deep on the imagery. Now the majors, though, you do have quite a bit more information, including some information about the image and the element, planet, or zodiac, and or all of the above associated with that particular major arcana. So that's pretty great. So you do get a little bit more in depth through the majors. And then in the beginning, we just have a little intro and what's in a name and a little bit about the card meanings, some tarot basics, and then we jump right in. So really straightforward guidebook. I think that's about all you really need. I'm really pleased with this. Oh, I'm going to have to put all my extra cards in the bottom. Okay, hold on. I'm going to put my extra cards in the bottom of the box. All right, y'all. So that is the Scarab and Dahlia. This is a very, very cool deck, and I hope it gets some more attention because I think it's really special. It's difficult, I think, to pull off a collage deck in a way that speaks to people who maybe aren't normally collage deck people, and I would put myself in that category for sure. It's rare that I want to reach for a collage deck, but a deck like this just takes all the intimidation out of working with collage. It's really intelligent. It's really thoughtful. It really ties the meanings of the cards in a way that works for my brain. And I get it. Different people are going to want and need different things when it comes to collage. They're going to resonate with different types of collage. They're going to be excited about different styles. This is mine. This is my style. This is what I like. And it just makes me really happy. When I think of this deck and then I think of the Voyager deck, it's like, oh man, I don't need the Voyager if I've got this. Like, this just gives me all of that wonderful stuff. Like, there's enough going on that I can like dig in. Like, look at the little salamander over here in the King of Wands. It gives me enough that I can play and I can kind of poke around intuitively with what's happening in the card. But the Rider-Waite-Smith is right there for me. The classic sort of types of symbols or scenes I'm used to seeing in these cards is also right there for me. And I like those images to be played with. I like to have something to jump off of and to explore. But I don't want it to be too crazy distracting because I can squirrel out and then I like lose myself. I get in the weeds. And this deck doesn't seem like it's going to put me in the weeds. And I love that. I really like the Celestial Bodies, the Sun and Moon and Star. in this. I think there wasn't really any cards I didn't like. I think there was one I said I wasn't sure about. I can't remember which one it was now, though. And I'm not seeing it now. Yeah, I love that. I love that. Yeah. Oh, that's right. It was the 9 of... No, wait. That was a different deck. Hold on. Let me think. Was it the 9 of Cups? No, the 9 of Cups was great. They were in, like... It was the unicorn and the... Yeah, anyways. I love this. This is amazing. And I'm a big fan. And I will have a link for it down below. It's amazing. Again, thank you so much, Johanna, to sending it my way so that I could share it with all of you guys. Be sure and like and subscribe and do all of the YouTube things. Leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts. As always, an extra big thank you goes out to my Unicorn Fam channel members. Thank you so much for your tangible support of my work here. You have made so much possible for me, and I am so grateful. To all of you who do all the YouTube things, who hang out and who are a part of this community, I appreciate you so much. Until next time, y'all, may your magic always shine from the inside out. Bye!